Welcome to the Blues basketball media coverage of this big NBL1 clash tonight at Frankston Basketball Stadium between the visiting Knox Raiders and the Powerade Frankston Blues. I'm Damien Arsenis from thepickandroll.com.au, and joining me tonight, a bit of a special guest, Simon Mitchell, of course a former Blues coach last season and set to be the first Southeast Melbourne Phoenix head coach as well. Welcome, Simon.
Oh, thanks for having me. This is going to be a good matchup. I think Frankston might be challenged a little bit by the height of the Knox Raiders tonight, but we'll see what Jess May and the coaching staff have got in store for that. Interesting hit out this one.
Certainly will, and of course coming into tonight's game, Knox have a 7-5 record. Sorry, I'll take that back. 5-2 record, 7 games, and the Blues, they're 2-6 from their 8 games, and of course that's a better position than what Frankston were in last season.
I think there's been an upgrade in the coaching staff, to be honest. Yeah, look, they've having Steph obviously from the get-go has been a big deal, and hopefully, she had a bit of a hiccup last weekend, and hopefully we'll see the best of her tonight. They're going to need her.
So it's Knox with a tip-off on court for them. We've got Watman, Scherf, Wild, Waring, and Ott. As we see a steal by the Blues, and Reed, who's managed to get up after doing her ankle last week, Simon.
Yeah, disappointing. She went down in the third quarter last week, and but yeah, I worked her out on Wednesday, and she was moving really well, and yeah, I think she'll be fine tonight.
So shot clock running down to 5, and it's Lee getting inside for the juice.
And that's a great drive there by Taylor Lee, and that's what the Blues are going to have to use their speed against the size of the Knox Raiders, and that's a great example right there by Taylor Lee.
So just running through the Blues lineup on court, Reed, Taylor, Richards, Lee and Smith. So the Raiders getting the ball through hands and into Scherf.
Yeah, we see the Blues switching a lot on that and the perimeter, leaving one out there with Sharisha though. So they're going to have to help out and get digs from their guards and make sure they get a little bit of help for Lauren Scherf down there.
Taylor hands off to Lee. Pulls the trigger. That's long.
Good boxing out there by the Knox Raiders. Just not relying on their size, making sure they do the fundamentals well and they get them out running. Good job there by Knox.
Yeah, Waring feeding Ott, who will head to the line, searching for her first points of tonight. And so, of course, the Raiders making a step up from Big V Championship after a few years post-Siebel.
It's great to see Knox back in the Premier State League, the Premier League in NBL1. I've got a soft spot in my heart for the Knox Raiders, having worked over there as well as a basketball ops manager many years ago and director of coaching. And some of these girls were at the club back in those days, so they must be getting on.
They're getting on, or they've lifted and gone up to the level they need to play at?
No, they're just Beck Ott, who's now been the Knox Raiders senior team for a number of years now, and an excellent player. And actually a couple of the Knox girls are here who play for Frankston that I used to work there too, so yeah.
Scherf's off target.
Look, I think Frankston would be pretty happy with that from if they can keep Scherf to jump hooks from 7 or 8 feet. That'll be a good result there for Frankston. She's got to get a little deeper on the paint there.
Taylor with the offensive boards. Feeds Richards, who gets her first 2 of the night.
Big addition last week, Sharisha Richards into the Frankston lineup. Got her feet wet last week, and she's going to be a huge addition remainder of the season.
And Ott gets inside again.
Yeah, great take there by Rebecca Ott. Just using her versatility, using her speed off the dribble, getting herself to the line.
Well, she spent some time playing 3-on-3 basketball in the off-season as well, getting prepared for the season ahead.
Yeah, I don't know much about the 3-on-3. I've actually never watched it, which I probably shouldn't say, but my understanding, how I would envision the 3-on-3 is that you want players who can switch plenty. And she's got good size, she's got guard skills. Her and a Maddie Garrick are the sort of players I just think would be fantastic in that form of the sport. A little bit more of a traditionalist, like my stuff 5-on-5.
Yeah. So it's the Raiders through Ott. Oh, lovely. Ball movement by the Blues sees Lee score inside for an easy 2.
Yeah, good execution there by Frankston Blues. Taylor Lee running the point, getting Steph Reed off the ball a little bit early, which is good to see. You want to see that ball through hands.
as Scherf nails it from the short corner.
Yeah, you can't let Lauren Scherf face up like that uncontested. She'll knock that down all day.
Well, in many ways, apart from Smith, who's obviously been shooting pretty well from deep, we see Lee get inside again. This time she went to the line, but I was just going to say, playing Reed off ball, the way she's been shooting, you probably want to try and open up some shots for her.
Yeah, look, one of the things Steph is, and she's a wonderful player, and all of us who were privileged to watch her 50-point, 10-assist game fortnight back.
And 7 steals.
And 7 steals, yeah, and not bad, eh? Look, the ball, she's ball dominant, and one of the things with playing Taylor Lee at the point is the ball will move around a little bit more early and people get touches, so that's not a bad thing to happen there for Frankston Blues.
I like what the Blues are trying to do, using their speed and quickness with a bit of full court pressure, but the Raiders easily break it, and it's Ott again. Ott's looking very ominous offensively.
She is. They're going to have to put the clamps down on her. She's got a little bit of size right now on Joanna Smith, and yeah, they're going to have to put a job in on her. This is going to be an issue for Frankston. It'll be interesting to see how they overcome. They are giving up size at every position.
Reed with a skip pass. Taylor for 3.
It's a great hit there by Saray Taylor. She's been a great addition to this club. Wonderful young lady. I only got to meet her for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, they had a really interesting chat with her. Great to talk to her about her hoops.
Well, she's loving her time here at Frankston, the opportunity to play some big minutes. As Ott feeds it inside, kick out, Watman. That's an air ball. Now, Reed with a pinpoint dime.
It's a great pass. Fantastic break there by Frankston. Really looking to use that speed against the Knox Raiders here, but they've got to get back. They've got to use that both ways.
So Watman getting through hands. Corner 3's up. Big 3 by Waring. Hitting from deep. Her first points.
It's great to see Taylor Lee getting off to a very strong start against her old club, the Knox Raiders, who she spent many years with before transferring to Kilsyth last year.
Shot clock's running down. 2-1. Taylor fires. Beats the shot clock, but is off target. And as you're saying that, Simon, you know, as a player playing against your former club, a club you played so much for, is there any extra feeling or emotion into the game?
Oh, look, I think there can be. You know, I think different players are, you know, that they go into it. Some people just go in and it's like, no, it's just another opponent. I know back in the day when I played my first game against Melbourne Tigers, there was certainly a little bit of emotion playing against them. But yeah, I think the way the players are now, though, is that they all know each other. You know, they contact each other, follow each other on this social media stuff, and you know, I don't know if there's that much mystery. Back then, there used to be a little bit more mystery about the opposition, and when you joined another team, it was like, okay, you know, this is a different situation. But so many representative teams now, and you know, the kids all know each other.
So we're locked up at 13 as the Blues get a defensive stop, and that's turned over by Lee.
That's a bad turnover. They can't afford those as the Frankston Blues.
And Waring makes no mistake, and nearly threw a dangerous pass there again. Reed.
I like the pace that Frankston set here, though. They're definitely they're trying to challenge Knox on this. They've got to be both ends, though. Knox will be happy to go back the other way.
And it's Ott again. Ott is now up to 8 points in the opening term. Lee. Offense is broken down. Shot clock's down to 5. Richards takes it on and shoots the tough one over Scherf.
It's a really good get out of jail free card there for Frank. So look, that's been an issue for them all season. They haven't been the most potent offensive team, and they do get caught at the tail end of the shot clock too often. A lot is asked of Steph Reed, but having Sharisha join the club is definitely a plus for them, and she'll help out in that department.
So Reed got her own offensive rebound. Draws a foul. But how's this Raiders team, the WNBL talent in that starting five is sensational. And then you bring off someone like Marina Whittle off the bench.
Yeah, look, it's not bad, is it? I mean, she's one of the premier players in the league last year with the Spectres. A great pickup by the Knox Raiders, and yeah, like just a fantastic scoring talent.
Lovely feed inside to Richards, who makes no mistake.
Yeah, a little bit disappointed there from Beckott on the weak side, not getting a tag in on the cutter. She was a little bit too preoccupied with the shooter. Needed to be out there on the split line and making sure that she was helping out Sharisha Richards on that drop there.
So Sherv's going to take her first break of the night. Big bucket by Waring again, this time from the wing.
Yeah, just not enough pressure on the ball there. Can't be arm and a half distance off her. She shoots the ball too well.
Good vision, but ambitious pass. Sees Whittle come up with a steal. And a kick out. Waring again. Oh, she's on fire.
Yeah. Knox's transition offense looks really potent, especially off turnovers. You know, the old saying, long rebounds, turnovers, and block shots. 3 great opportunities to run. Frankston can't afford those soft turnovers.
It all opens up for Reed. She kicks it out instead. Lee. And Richards with the offensive board. And that's something the Blues haven't had much of this season, those offensive rebounds, and she's already got 2.
Yeah, no, fantastic on the boards. Just a wonderful worker. Leaves it out there every time she plays. Great teammate. Backs up her teammates. And, yeah, you know she's relentless on those boards. Takes a lot of pride in it.
And, of course, last season she battled a knee injury, I believe.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, we're a bit of a mash unit for the majority of the season. You know, we got her in late, and she only ended up playing 8 games for us. She had a concussion, then a knee injury, and then another knee injury. So she still won MVP for the team after just 8 games. So it's not a bad effort.
Was a fair effort indeed. And you had your fair share of injuries across the whole team last season.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, this is a rebuilding program. I don't think anyone wants to use injuries as an excuse. It was an unfortunate circumstance we found ourselves in, but, you know, this is... we weren't up to par, and, you know, not having youth league for a number of years here at Frankston has really put a hole in the program. Poor decision there by the club, I think.
A double team Scherf inside. She kicked it out. And the bucket goes down by Quirk.
And that's a great vision there by Lauren Scherf. And
Reed gets it to drop as well. She'll head to the line for the 3-point play.
Yeah, that's something special. But going back to Lauren Scherf in that last play, she's averaging just under 3 assists a game this season. Has been really good. You know, when the double team does come to her, finding her open teammates, and we just saw an example of that there. But Steph Reed, her attack on the rim. You know, we're really fortunate when you come to Frankston games, you get to watch Steph Reed in the first game and then Damon Bozeman in the second. You get 2 ultra-aggressive transition players that just always trying to get themselves on the rim and make plays. Fantastic to watch.
So the Blues get back to within 1 as we're inside the final 2 minutes of the first term. Trying to get it to Whittle inside. They do. She kicks it out. Ball movement by the Raiders. Now they get it into Scherf.
Yeah, great ball movement there, but again, I think Frankston will be pretty happy if Scherf is throwing up those 7-foot jump hooks. I think that's not a bad result for Frankston.
So Riley in for her first minutes. Goes the reverse. Can't get it to fall, but Erin Riley's been a real find. And when I say find, we all know she's on the radar, but a youngster to step up to this level and contribute immediately, it's quite impressive.
Yeah, it's great. She's had some fantastic moments early in the season for the Frankston Blues. Nice pick up there by Jess May, who obviously had a relationship with her through her junior years at Bulleen and through the state program. She's exceptionally gifted player.
She's a phenomenal shooter as well. Very crafty.
Yeah, she's been shooting the 3-ball really well early in her career.
As Scherf goes inside, throws up the one-hander and this time gets it to fall.
Yeah, just operating a little closer to the rim, and she's going to be dominant down there most of the night. Frankston really going to have to come up with a plan how they want to defend that.
So Reed pulls the trigger at short, and the Raiders are off and running. This time the Blues are back. So it's Ott. Raiders just got their spacing mixed up, but now they get it into Scherf, one out, and that's difficult.
Yeah, they're gonna really struggle without Sharisha Richards out there. Saray Taylor's going to give her, she's going to give everything she's got, but she's just giving up far too much height. It might be a good time to try a zone out, maybe double team as soon as she catches. They've got to try something, but if she's going to go one out there for too long, it's going to be a long night for Frankston.
Riley fires from the wing, just off target. Whittle back tap. It only goes as far as Jackson.
Great hustle there by Tori Jackson, getting on that loose ball. She's a good athlete, Tori Jackson. We need to see more of that from her. She can be a really good player at this level.
Well, she's already showing she can be a spot-up shooter from deep and usually hits the wide open ones.
Yeah, I don't think it's from the textbook. There's a little two hands in that shot, but
it's effective.
Yeah, no, she's shooting the ball really, really well this year.
So it's foul as Reed was trying to get open. Raiders are over the limit, and that's on Scherf. It's only number one for her. No one's in real foul troubles. We've got 7.5 seconds on the clock. So Reed, her team trailing by 5, chance to narrow the margin.
Yeah, Knox want to be careful about putting Steph Reed on the line too often. She's a streaky shooter. She's had shooting the ball wonderfully well this year, but not really the strength of her game from deep. But any scorer who starts to feel comfortable at the line will all of a sudden start to get a little bit more comfortable from behind the arc as well. So
Riley with the steal. Riley with the buzzer beater from the edge of Australia.
There's a little controversy around the painting of Australia right there, but Riley used it. I think she shot that one from Wagga Wagga.
Well, what a way to finish the opening term. The youngster, we just talked her up and she delivers right on cue. Ties the ball game up at 29 apiece at the end of the first quarter. And Simon, really, it's been not much in it. We've seen Scherf dominate at one end, Ott getting active early. But at the other end, Frankston were just hanging around, and of course then they do that little bit of magic at the end.
Yeah, they are. A little bit of luck there at the end, but I mean, at the same time, you got to give them credit. Great job by Sharisha Richards getting on the offensive boards, creating those second shot opportunities for Frankston. Look, it's the old saying though, isn't it? Like the old bigs don't get any shorter as the game goes along, and Frankston going to have to come up with something to start to curb the influence of Lauren Scherf down there deep in the paint. She's looking fantastic, and as you said, Beck Ott, she's looking really smooth. She's a great operator.
Certainly is. Abby Waring, though, she's leading all scorers. She's got 11. Yes. Scherf and Ott both have 8 each.
Waring's done a wonderful job out in transition, not just getting out in the break, but also trailing. You just saw that one time where the ball got kicked out. She's spotting up, finding space. Again, she's someone you've got to find, natural scorer in this league.
For the Blues, Taylor Lee, she got going early and really was a driving force behind the Blues. Reed's moved up to 7. Richards has 6. It's also worth noting Reed's already got 3 assists in the opening term.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Look, Frankston are at their best when Steph's creating, not just for herself but others. And that 50-point game the other week was a fantastic giver. But the thing that impressed me most about that game wasn't actually the 50 points. That was just one out of the box with a great shooting performance. But the way she was able to get feet in the paint and really just draw the second defender and kick it out and find shooters, that's where she makes players better. And even more importantly than that, she was getting up and into the ball early and creating turnovers, and we saw that 7 steals as well. But that's when she's at her best. That's a strength of hers. And if she wants to get the WNBL, coach is going to be looking at that as what can you bring to the WNBL? Because she's not going to get 25 shots to get 50 points. So they want to see the skill sets that she possesses, but the things that will transfer to WNBL. And that's her defense and that's her distribution of the ball.
So good denial by Taylor as Riley kicks out to Reed. And she steps back for 3. And it rattles home.
Yeah, look, I love that. I love that early penetration and the kick out to Riley and then finding it back to her. Great play there by Frankston. The transition looked sharp tonight.
And Waring, well, she's looking sharp as well.
No, she's been outstanding.
That was a 4-3.
So Waring has 4 3-pointers up until this point already. Oh, Ott's going to pull the trigger as well.
Geez, they're looking pretty potent right here. Again, a little disappointed with some of the things that Frankston Blues are doing out there defensively. I mean, they've got to get hands right up on those shooters. They're standing arm and a half distance off.
So Reed tries to ride the bump, loses the handle.
What'd you make of that call? It's right in front of us. They come off the breadbasket of the defender. Interesting one.
I'm just being nice.
Actually, I've made it my life mission is to be a lot nicer at the referee. So we'll call out a great call and we'll move on.
The Kirstens are a great family friend. Of course, probably the most senior referee on the court as well right now.
Yeah, no, Raul is a long-time NBL referee as well. And
he certainly is.
He's had a great career officiating.
Yep,
got a couple right in those time too.
As Reed gets inside, yes. Well, it's the old adage. The players make more mistakes than the referees. Isn't that what you're supposed to say?
That's the politically correct thing to say. No, I was having a bit of fun, Raul. You're fantastic at what you do, mate. Well done.
Of course, you'll probably see a bit of him this season as a head coach of the Phoenix.
Could do.
Whittle on the offensive boards. And can't get it to fall.
Yeah, she's not going to miss too many of those. Great offensive play.
Riley, she's going to pull the trigger.
Yeah, Frankston just got to be careful not to get into a shootout with the Knox Raiders. I mean, obviously they want to get up the floor as quickly as possible. But every now and then they're going to have to be patient, pull it out, and see if they can't execute their plays.
First foul, a second foul. Sub-Blues.
So Reed checks out, as does Jackson. We're going to see Lee step back in, and Malika Ivanov coming in for her first minutes tonight.
Yeah, it's good to see Millie out on the floor. Look, she's not had a lot of luck with her body the last 2 seasons. She's had that crook ankle, and another player up against her old team in the Knox Raiders. And I wish the best for Millie in this one. Hopefully she can stay out there and get some things done.
Oh, good rotation on the defence by Riley. Pokes it loose, and Smith goes all the way. She draws a foul.
Great job of drawing the contact there by Joanna. That's a scorer. He just knows how to find that contact. You see it in the NBA all the time these days. The greats of the offensive world like James Harden and the Kawhi Leonards, and they can draw that contact and go and try and finish through that. Didn't quite finish on that one, but got a good look at it. Just hoping she converts from the line here.
On the Australian game, I refer to Steph Blitzarves, and I go to Beck Coles. They're these players that know how to finish through contact.
Yeah, no, fantastic at it. And then they go and knock them down at the line and reward themselves there as well.
Smith makes both. And it's back to a 1-point ball game.
That's a little bit better there by Frankston. Getting up and into the ball and putting a little pressure on Knox. Not letting them come down and execute. Much better by the boys.
Riley, hands off. Good 1-2 punch. Open shots off target. And Scherf now putting the ball on the floor. And look at her run the floor.
Oh, great hands. Great find.
Scherf with a kick out. And it rattles in.
Fantastic play there by Lauren Scherf. You just love to see that level of hustle from your big. And then the dexterity to catch the ball in an awkward position and find a player when she had no ground to land and finish. Fantastic play, Lauren Scherf.
If there was one thing on her game, I remember watching her 2 years ago for Dandenong. I would have said her fitness and work ethic was an issue. Well, right now, you can make an argument that's no longer the case.
Yeah, we saw it right there. That was an exceptional effort to beat everyone down the floor. Pass didn't quite land on the money, but just the ability to, at the end of that, to find a teammate. Fantastic. I mean, she's filling the boxes in every game, isn't she? I mean, she's getting assists. She's up there and amongst the league's best rebounders. The only thing where she's probably a bit of a drop-off this season, I think her shot blocking's probably been down a little bit. She's averaging just over half a block a game. And career-wise, I think she's about 1.6. So maybe just a little bit more rim protection from Lauren, and we might have an MVP candidate. She can start, remain on the floor, and the Raiders start winning a few more games, or continue to win more games, I should say.
Well, tonight she's got 8 points, 4 rebounds and 4 assists, so she's certainly filling it up. Coming into tonight, she's averaging almost 24 points, 10 rebounds, and as you said, just over 2 assists per game. Now, there's some big numbers.
Yeah, great numbers. And look, Knox have a very proud tradition of fielding strong women's teams. Now, their old Siebel teams were fantastic squads to watch. Going back 20 years, they've always been really strong club. And they've brought, their junior program's been exceptional as well. And I think out of all the Victorian clubs, they have been the best at producing high-level talent on both sides of the program, the boys and the girls. And Nutter Wadding's been exceptional on that as well. But I think in recent years, I'd go with Knox. I think they've been exceptional, given with junior representation, state teams and things like that. Been a fantastic club.
And Ott again getting it done. This time in transition, she's the game's leading scorer with 16 points. Just shading Waring's 14.
It's a dangerous period right here for Frankston.
Richards, mid-ranger.
Hopefully that'll settle the Blues a little, but yeah, Knox really look on their game tonight.
It's been a high-tempo game as Waring again. Anything Ott can do, she can do.
Yeah, look,
matching it point for point.
Just looked a little too mobile there for Saray Taylor in that situation, but yeah, look, she's doing it both, getting to the rim and catch and shoot from behind the arc. She's been fantastic.
So it's a little danger period for the Blues, who've called for time with 5:21 to play. They found themselves down by 8, and it's just that mini run there has just opened things up for the Raiders.
Yeah, look, it's a real dangerous period right here. They've done a fantastic job of being competitive, but Knox extraordinarily efficient from the floor. They're 17 of 25 from the field, shooting at 68%. Look, they're going to have to do something. The defensive transition's not been great, and their pressure on the ball, they're that arm and a half distance away. They're letting shots go over. Knox is 6 or 7 from behind the arc right now. And that's just not good enough. They can run one way, but they've got to make sure they run both ways on the floor here.
And the shots Knox have made from beyond the arc have been wide open. They're uncontested.
They're good looks. They are. They're executing really well on all cylinders right now, Knox, and that's why we recognise this is a dangerous time. But they need to change things up. I don't know what they plan on doing coming out of this timeout, but they certainly need to change things up. And Knox are in a real comfortable offensive flow right now.
Well, they're getting it done inside and out. And the offensive scoring for the Blues, which they're not shooting any bad. They're 46% from the field. They've got 38 points halfway through the second period. It's just slowing down the other team.
Yeah, I mean that's been an issue all season for this Frankston Blues team. Is it that they have been a little bit leaky at the defensive end of the floor? They're giving up 80 points a game. 89 points a game, sorry, which is just not good enough. And look, it's looking that way again tonight that they're going to give up a big total here. So yeah, it's great to get one way and it's really push the pace, but you've got to double back. You've got to make sure that you're getting all your players back when it doesn't go your way and you don't get a score.
Steph Reid, 14 for the game.
So Steph Reid now, she moves up to 14 points. Certainly showing no signs of that sore ankle from last week.
Nah, she's looking good. Her mobility's up there. As I said, I got to work her out on Wednesday. She's working out with a couple of the guys at South East Melbourne and holding their own too, I might add.
Oh my, Abby Waring again. That's 5 of 5 from deep.
Now look, that one was somewhat contested. That was a quick release.
But as a shooter, when you've already hit 4 in a row.
That's it, exactly. And that's the danger of playing that arm and a half distance. You get a shooter going like that, could be a long night.
Well, Taylor with a response. That's her second from deep.
Yeah, she's shown the ability to knock that down this season.
Well, she's definitely been one of the Blues' most versatile players.
Yeah, she gives you an honest effort every single week. She's a great communicator at the defensive end. She plays above her weight. She's had to play out of position a little bit at times, but taking on taller opponents. But you know that the effort's there.
Well, it's not just her ability to guard taller opponents. It's her ability to stay in front of the smaller ones as well.
It has been as she just gives up a back cut.
Yeah. I talk you up, Miss Taylor, and then you let me down. Nice little finger roll by Reed. She's heating up. She's got 16.
Great attack on the rim there. And look, when you're picking the ball up that early, like Rachel Quirk did, you've got to keep that ball going in the one direction. She let it cross her over at midcourt, and now you open up the middle of the floor, and then, she can drive. She can, she can either score herself or look to create for others. It's dangerous letting her in the middle of the floor.
Hot. Not this time. And the offensive rebound poked loose by Smith, who's called for a foul.
Again, Lauren Scherf just showing just what a great player she is. I mean, that ball comes to floor, and you'd think Frankston should be the scrappier of the two teams, given the height differentiation, and she just scrapped a little harder, wanted a little bit more than Frankston girls on that possession.
Well, Lauren Scherf, she's got 10 points, 6 rebounds, might even be 7 after that one, and 5 assists. She's on track for a triple-double.
Diamond out.
Well, there was your heat check by Waring. She's missed her first three-pointer of the night.
Time for a sub.
But it's going to be Raiders ball. Going to get another chance. Riley gets a deflection. It's going to stay with Knox again. Rotman. Waring. Well, she might have gone cold with one missed outside. She goes straight back inside.
Yeah, no,
makes them pay.
21 points for Ava tonight.
Disappointing again, Frankston, giving up middle lane, letting her get to the middle of the floor and creating off the dribble.
Well, right now it's the Waring and Reed show. It's Waring at one end, Reed at the other.
Yeah, Knox certainly haven't had any answers for Steph Reed so far. But again, I think the depth of talent, Frankston, they've got to make a stand at the defensive end. They just can't go basket for basket with this Knox Raiders outfit. There's too much scoring talent. Where if things dry up a little bit for one or two players for Frankston, that could be it for the night. Whereas Knox, just go through the list. They got 4, 5, 6 girls out there. Any given night are going to get you 20. So.
They get it down low. Shot clock's down to 5. Watman had to poke loose. Richards. Lee, she'll pull it out. Blues go inside to Taylor, who spins. And that's off target.
Could go a little bit stronger. She had the mismatch down low. There's a little bit of contact on that. Faded away from it though. She needs to go stronger at the rim.
Well, what a battle it is, Waring and Reed. They both come into tonight's game averaging more than 6 assists, which is pretty phenomenal given their scoring abilities so far this season.
Yeah, I think there should be a separate award for the the assist player of the year, because I think it's just there's Kelly Wilson and there's the rest of the world. That Kelly to Gabe combo is, that's been going for a long, long time.
It's been going for a long time at this level, back to Siebel, but also at WNBL level.
Yeah, different clubs too. They Knox Raiders together, Bendigo together, and what a wonderful combination. Wonderful girls too. Wonderful people. Good people to be around, and geez, they've done it for a long time. Kelly still amazes me. She's still probably my favourite player in the WNBL still, after all these years.
So who can beat Bendigo? Reed scores again.
Well, they're already been defeated, right?
Oh, did I miss that one? Oh, dear.
Did they get a loss last week?
There you go. I missed that one. Right through to the keeper. Riley, active on the boards.
Yeah, look, there's they're one of those teams where you're somehow going to have to try and get in foul trouble. I'm not sure they bat as deep as some of the other contenders in the league, but their top-end talent's just superior to everybody, I think. And And maybe if Geelong can challenge them, in a playoff series. But look, I don't know. They're going to be short odds, aren't they?
Well, yeah, definitely. And of course, you've got this Raiders lineup. You've got Geelong. You've got Dandenong. And of course, you can't rule out the Spectres team either with the amount of Australian junior representatives on that roster. We see Riley fire. So, believe it or not, the Blues have taken the lead. 54-53, and we've got 30 seconds to play before we hit halftime.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of pep in their step right now, especially defensively. The energy's risen just this last 2 minutes, which is good. They need to be like this for the whole of the game, though.
Can they sustain it?
Well, they're going to have to. Otherwise, they're not going to win. Simple as that.
Poked loose by Riley. Whittle gets it back and finishes a runner.
Erin Riley's maybe not one of the greatest athletes in this league right now, but she has an unbelievable feel for the game. And she's able to poke her hand in and just get pokes on the ball and dislodge it.
Whittle throws it from deep, and that's way off target. So at halftime, the Raiders have taken back the lead. They're leading at 55-54 in a high-scoring game.
Well, this may not be one for the purists, but if you just want to sit and enjoy getting buckets,
and
this has been fantastic.
It certainly has. It's been the Abby Waring and Steph Reed show. Going head-to-head, Waring's got 21 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Steph Reed, 21 points. She's also got 3 assists. It's been a shootout, a host of other scorers in a high-scoring first half. We'll take a short break, Simon. We'll be back for all the second half action here at Frankston for this NBL1 clash between the Raiders and the Blues. Welcome back to the Blues basketball media coverage of the NBL1 clash tonight between the Knox Raiders and the Powerade Frankston Blues. About to tip off the second half with the Raiders leading by 1 in a shootout, 55-54. I'm Damien Arsenis from pickandroll.com.au, and joining me is South East Melbourne Phoenix head coach Simon Mitchell. As Werring can't get it to go, Scherf cleans up and gets fouled.
Feels like we've just picked up where we left off in the first half. Werring being aggressive, Scherf getting hers done on the boards as well. 5 assists at the half for Lauren Scherf, showing her all-round game. It's great to see.
7 rebounds as well, and 10 points, make that 11. She's on target for a triple-double.
I think so. I think she's going to walk it in.
2 points, Lauren Scherf.
So Scherf gets the scoring underway inside the first 10 seconds. But it has been a shootout between Reed and Werring. Both have 21 points as Richards blows the layup. Should have made that one.
Yeah, good job there by Frankston to empty out that strong side corner, the way that Knox Raiders are going to defend that. They're going to not let her use the screen. And Sharisha's a pretty smart player. She's going to dive on the rim. And I think we'll find that Reed will find her most of the time.
Second foul.
So Taylor quite wisely gives up a foul because Wild had the deep seal. Watman trying to get a pick and roll. Doesn't work to Scherf, but they toss it in and she's going to lay it in. Well, they're making their intentions known early, straight to Scherf.
Yeah, great high-low action there by the Knox Raiders, and yeah, it's going to be a handful. I mean, you've got to get that weak side help there by Frankston, but when the weak side post flashes high, it's going to be hard to guard.
And Richards' long two was off target, and there was no rebounders. Scherf's calling for it again. Watman had a poke loose. Shot clock's down.
Don't feel like they've got the 5 seconds on the clock in any of Knox's possessions this game. Let's see how Frankston holds up here.
Turnaround jumper, Scherf is short. Wild gets the O board and cleans up. As you said, the height doesn't get any shorter the longer the game goes on.
Yeah, that's just that's unfortunate for Frankston, but well done to Knox. Stuck with the play.
Richards creates space and is going to go to the line for the N1. That's just powerful.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get an offensive foul there, and I would have been disappointed. You'll want to let the big players play down there and slap a little flesh and get physical. That was a great play by Sharisha Richards. Love her physicality.
She has 1 bonus to shoot for the Blues.
Something the Blues haven't had this season up until last week. And they get it back to within 4. It's actually a very good crowd for the women's game tonight, Simon.
She's been impressive tonight, Beck. Oh, yeah, no, the crowd's fantastic. Look, the one thing you're always going to get at Frankston is you usually get a pretty darn good crowd, and they're usually pretty vocal. They do get behind their Blues. There's not been a lot of success here in the senior program for a few years, and the crowds keep turning up. I think they respect effort. We talk about this whole southeast, the southeast corridor. There's pretty high IQ basketball people out this side of town, and if they see that you're working hard, and you might be a little bit depleted from a talent perspective, but if they see you working hard, they're going to respect that, and they'll keep turning up.
So Smith takes a break. She's picked up foul number 4. So that's a bit of a blow for the Blues.
It has been. She needs to get more active, but it's going to be hard with that foul trouble now.
Smith pulls the trigger from deep, and it was short. Watman with a runner. Again, we haven't really seen Watman shoot much at all tonight.
I think that might be her first 2 points. And look, she's probably been touched up a little bit early in this game, with her moments against Steph Reed and also against Taylor Lee early in that first half. She needs to put a little pressure back on them at the other end as well.
Taylor, no hesitation at firing it up. And Richards goes straight at Scherf.
Just love the effort on that woman. Plays hard. Great effort there by Sharisha Richards.
Richards has 3 offensive rebounds. She's now got 6 for the game. Waring can't get this one to drop, and it's Riley drawing a foul, and I think that'll be on Scherf.
Great execution there, though, by Knox Raiders, and it really leaves Frankston with an issue. If you don't switch that out, the way they set that screen, then Waring's going to be an issue on the perimeter. But if you do switch it, it's going to be Scherf against a guard down low, and that's fait accompli right there. That's a bucket.
Well, the way Waring's been hitting from deep, you've got to get a hand to her.
Yeah, no, you just can't let her shoot that. She's not going to miss too many.
Riley, found open by Reed. Can't get it to fall.
I love that penetration there by Steph Reed, getting 2 feet in the paint.
And there she is again. Scherf is getting up on the break.
Just got to love that ability to run the floor for the big girl. Great effort.
Reed, again, Riley. A good step from behind the arc.
And again, Steph Reed, deep penetration, finding players. You can't underestimate that pass. It's a left-handed hook pass across the body against the momentum. Lands right on the numbers. I mean, that's a point guard. That's a player.
Waring's now hit 2 in a row from deep. She cooled off a little bit at half-time.
I'm backing her in for the next one.
So the Blues hanging tough at the moment. They're trailing by 6. With 6 to play in the third. And Reed gets it to Richards, who pulls the trigger. That was off.
It's not textbook, is it?
It certainly isn't, and Scherf pulls down rebound number 10. She's got 16, 10, 5 assists. Scherf's shooting the 3. Oh my! Lauren Scherf is doing it all.
What do you do? She's just venting ways to beat you.
And Steph Reed, well, she's creating a handful for Waring.
Look, just with Lauren Scherf, though, on that 3, she has shot the ball pretty well there from behind the arc this year. She shot it at 46% leading into this. Career-wise, I think she's at low 30s or maybe high 20s. But she's shown an ability, shown that touch previously. But this year, it's all come together for her, to this point.
Well, you can tell she's put the work in. Her fitness and energy levels, getting up and down the court like she is. It's not easy for the bigger players to do that.
No, it's not. It's not. And this is the thing that, the Knox team has done a fantastic job. If you want to encourage your bigs to run up and down the floor, you want to feed them every now and then. Throw them a bit of raw meat. Because if you don't, they'll stop working.
So Ott now running the point. Watman guarded by Reed. That's a tough shot. Watman.
Yeah, I don't think Frankston will be too disappointed with that. That's some pretty good defense. And you saw them actually pushing the ball a little further away from the three-point line in their general execution there, which was great by Frankston. But Watman just too good.
Taylor lost the handle. Waring goes all the way.
And again, we talk about Waring missing a couple of jumpers. There she is getting a bucket in transition again, and it's just going to make her feel good about herself.
Reed feeds Lee for 3. Reed now has 5 assists. But the Blues now, they're still trailing by 8. Ott penetrates, hands to Scherf, who's just created space, blew the layup, and misses the follow.
She'll be disappointed with that.
Well, she gave a bit of a scream there. I think she was frustrated with herself. Reed knows they can't stay in front of her.
Look, the second line of defense for Knox has been really poor. you know, you can understand that Steph Reed's getting past the defence because she is an exceptional athlete. Like she got a background in touch football, so she's got that lateral movement, and it's really tough to stay in front of her. But there's just no help. She's just getting deep in the paint, and when there is help, it's collapsing and leaving people open on the perimeter, and they're getting caught in two-way closeouts. So good on Steph Reed for putting the pressure on, but Knox need to make a
big screen. Set by Scherf, put Riley on her backside. She's bounced straight back up though, as Ott finishes for the Raiders. Riley puts it to the floor. And it's been turned over. So they're going to roll the dice. Smith is coming back in with 4 fouls.
Yeah, look, they haven't got a lot out of her tonight, so may as well. Let's see what happens.
Ott. Smith stays in front. She pulls the trigger. Great box out by Jackson.
Yeah, what we just saw there, though, with Joanna Smith guarding Rebecca Wright was that she was a little reluctant to get up into her. She was arm and a half distance again, and that's been a problem for Frankston, you know, especially in the first half. And she got a good look at the basket, didn't knock it down. But if she's going to play conservatively like that and try and save that last foul, you may as well not put her out there. Knox will definitely take advantage of that.
Smith, lovely feed to Richards. Good vision by Smith. Good ball movement by the Blues, creating the opportunity.
Yeah, Scherf showing really high on that on-ball screen. A little bit of a different look defensively for Raiders. Oh, wow.
What did you say before? Yeah. Waring will hit her next one.
Well, she went and got a layup in transition, and, you know.
6-3 so far for Abigail.
I'm not saying she went cold by missing a couple, but it's you give up a layup to someone who's feeling it like she has tonight, you know she's going to be feeling herself afterwards. So that's no surprise on that result.
So Lead misses the fall-away jumper. There you go. Richards battling away, tracks it down, and the Blues now in transition. Oh, Reed from the car park.
Yeah, that's an impressive make. I was a little disappointed with Steph down this end, though. She's really tempting him, almost baiting Abby into shooting that one. But, yeah, that's okay. I guess he got 3 back. I wouldn't be doing that again.
Oh, she hit that from beyond the NBA distance.
Look, great body work down low by Lauren Scherf there, and getting the foul called. Again, I like to see the bigs be able to go at it, and they're both physical women. They can handle themselves down there in the block. I don't think Lauren is... look, she probably would have got a bucket anyways there if they let that play go.
I think she was about to score somehow.
Yeah, I think she'd made good position. I'd like to have seen that continue, but she's going to probably get 2 here anyways.
So we see the Blues go to Abby Chernisoff for her first minutes of tonight.
Yeah, it's a small lineup for the Blues out there right now.
2 points, Lauren Scherf. 21 for the game so far.
Oh, that's a bit of luck there for Frankston with Lauren Scherf getting subbed out also.
Well, it's a bit of a luxury really, isn't it?
Yeah, no, she's been brilliant tonight, no doubt.
So we talk about the Raiders and we talk about Waring, and we've spoken about Ott, who's now moved up to 21 points, and Scherf. They haven't even needed Whittle to do anything yet.
She's got the feet up reading the paper, hasn't she? No, she's actually been a little unlucky. She's missed a couple of bunnies. But that's the thing with this Knox Raiders outfit. You know, they're 82 points before the end of the third quarter, and Whittle's barely raised an eyebrow. And she's likely to get a dozen between now and the end of the game.
And that's going to be foul number 5 on Smith, and that'll be the end of her night.
Yeah, it's been a disappointing night for Joanna.
Foul on Blues number 6.
Hasn't been able to really get anything going either defensively or offensively tonight. A tough night all round for Joanna Smith. And we'll see Whittle go to the line for the first time tonight. Both teams have sparingly used their benches tonight.
Yeah, well, I think Knox would like to use a little more of their bench, but Frankston's just been hanging around and keeping in that striking distance.
Well, they have, and they're still within that striking distance. It's only a 6-point ball game as we near the end of the third period. Reed with a kick out, corner three, Taylor.
Drop. Ooh. So that was a better looking shot than Kawhi Leonard during the week, and didn't get the result though.
I was about to say something similar. Great defensive play. Chernisov draws a charge.
She is the Ilyasova of NBL1 women's basketball. She doesn't play a lot, but she is guaranteed to take a charge every single time. Wonderful defender in the youth league level. I believe maybe even was Defensive Player of the Year last year. I could have made that up. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I gave her the award.
What you're saying is she's pretty good at defense.
She is, and she's a good defender, and what she's really good at is giving up her body. You know, she's happy to take the hit for the team.
So there's at least 2 possessions to see this period out, and it's ball in hand of Reed. Lee. Probing, driving, scoring!
And that's what you want to see from Taylor Lee if you're a Blues fan. She needs to maintain the aggression that she showed in the first quarter.
Watman's going to have to fire on the buzzer, and that's off target. And that's the end of the third period here at Frankston Stadium. And we have a ball game on our hands. It's an 82-78 lead to the Raiders. But as Simon was just saying, the Blues have just managed to hang around, and hang around.
Yeah, they've done a wonderful job. Look, I'm a little surprised, to be honest. I honestly thought that with Knox playing the way that they are, that Frankston would struggle to hang. But we're seeing another special performance from Steph Reed. 30 points has she got?
She's got 30 points. She's also got 5 assists. And been a very, very big performance. But if you look at the Raiders, they're big. I shouldn't just say big 3, but certainly Abby Waring, she's been on fire from downtown. She's got 26 points. She's got 4 rebounds. She's got 4 assists as well. Lauren Scherf is going to toy with a triple-double if she can pass it out of the post into some more Waring 3-pointers. She's got 21 points, 12 rebounds. She's got 5 assists. And then you throw in Beck Ott, who's been very, very important for them as well tonight. 21 points for her as well. So they've certainly been stuffing the stat sheet tonight in this high-scoring game.
Yeah, no, they've been excellent. And we've not got much out of Marina Whittle. And, yeah, if she gets going, just forget about it. This one's done. But credit to the Blues. Look, really gutsy effort. And we've seen this in a few games this year. You know, obviously, the addition of Sharisha Richards gives them another avenue to scoring, but also creates second shots for the Blues. And it's not necessarily with an offensive rebound. It could be just a contest and creating a loose ball. So, yeah, at this point in the game, she's got 17 points on 8 of 11 shooting, 7 rebounds, 3 at the offensive end, 2 assists. And, yeah, you've got to love the effort that she brings.
She does have 4 fouls, so that could be pivotal here in this final quarter.
Absolutely, that's going to be pivotal. And, look, we had a little bit of trouble last year with her keeping her on the floor, either through injury or through foul trouble. She's a physical player, and sometimes we're pretty quick to blow the whistle in this league. So, look, hopefully she gets to play out the game. We see a really good contest here in this last quarter.
Taylor with a good defensive play, but Watman comes up with a ball and gets the first score of the last term.
She's been a little more active in this second half, and I'm sure she probably got told about the performances of the Frankston Blues point guards.
And Reed finds Lee again.
Again, Steph Reed, when she's finding her teammates, she's an exceptional player.
Great defensive hustle by the Blues. Ott tracks it down. Whittle fires from deep. Well, the last thing the Blues need is Whittle to start finding the bottom of the net, because that could be game over.
Look, she's had a few good looks. She's missed a couple of bunnies around the rim. She's missed a free throw, and she's had some good looks from behind the arc too. Just not working for her tonight. So look,
Taylor scores in transition. It's back to a 1-point ball game. Certainly a really positive start by the Blues, with Scherf still sitting out, but she looks like she's about to check back in. Dawson got the offensive rebound. Watman. Well, Watman's hit a couple of big shots.
Yeah, she's been good in the second half. Look, Abby Chernisov was just a little deep on that pick and roll, giving up that elbow jumper.
Taylor continues to fire with a long two. It's off target. We've got a 3-point ball game. And it's the Blues surprisingly able to stay in touch. They have lost Joanna Smith with 5 fouls as Ott gets inside way too easily. But Richards, who's currently sitting on the bench, she's got 4 fouls, so last thing they need is for her to foul out. Taylor fires from deep. That's an air ball. That looked tired.
They do. As you mentioned earlier, there hasn't been a lot of rotations in this game for neither team using their bench, but yeah, that was a tired-looking shot right there. I think she was almost too open though. Looked, she had too much time, too much space. Looked really awkward coming out of the hand.
Well, it looks like the Blues now are going to roll the dice. They brought Richards back in with Scherf checking back in. So if they can keep Richards out there, one would think, given the way this game's gone, they're in with a chance. Good rotation by Jackson.
Yeah, great help there by Tori Jackson coming from the weak side and contest that shot.
Richards with an immediate offensive impact.
Yeah, I love that deep seal right there out of transition. Comes up with the easy bucket.
Quirk going to work. Hands off to Ott. Nice play by Quirk to create that opportunity.
What'd you say there? Quirk going to work? I like
did.
that.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? Just happened.
Have you copyrighted that? No, just think of that.
Richards. It's a long two. Toe over the line.
She got a habit of that, unfortunately. Nothing more infuriating for a coach, and Jess May, who loves her 3-ball, will be seething that she had her toes on the line.
Shot clock's running down and they're bailed out with a foul. Oh, Ott's hurt.
Oh, a bit of knee-on-knee contact there, I think. Look, Frankston have had a little bit of trouble with the pick and roll in this last quarter. They're playing a little bit deep, and Knox have been able to either just come straight off and shoot the short jumper, or in that occasion, Ott was able to cross back. But drew some contact. Looks like she's hurt her knee. Just hoping everything's okay for Beck Ott.
Well, she's going off. Yeah, she's going off under her own legs, which is a good sign. But yeah, maybe it's just a really bad corky, hopefully.
Yeah, just a little knee-on-knee action there, I hope, and we'll see her back out there. Get her run a few paces out on court too here, Franger.
Waring kicks it to Watman. Great defence by Richards. Breaks it up, but hands it off. Jackson couldn't get it, and it ends up in Scherf's hands anyway.
It's a really disappointing result there for Frankston. She just front that in the post. You know, great athleticism, was able to get up there and get a possession, but you know, the old adage, you know, it's underneath your opposition's basket, just take it out of bounds. Don't save it under the opposition basket.
Yeah, you don't throw it into the key anyway, that's for sure.
Kick it up into the stands.
So Jackson inbounding to Reed, who drew the foul on Quirk. Lee with a 3 again. That just rimmed out.
I love the aggression there from Taylor Lee, though. That's what Frankston need to see. With Joanna Smith out of the game, they need that extra scorer. Again, I love the help defense there by Tori Jackson to come across. And whilst she didn't get a hand on it, she certainly, Lauren Scherf felt her presence there. Good job there by the Frankston Blues.
So just over 5 to play. It's a 5-point ball game here at Frankston. Of course, coming up will be the men. Next, as Reed thought about the step back, Richards for the long 2 again. Just take a little step back Sharisha, make it a 3.
Just checking on the coach. I don't see her clapping her, so yeah.
So it's a 3-point ball game. Waring.
Great job there by Taylor Lee.
Oh,
Great
good
save.
heads up play by Lee to save it. Re-established her feet back on the court. Reed's going all the way. And she lost the handle.
Yeah, she never seemed to have control on that one, and maybe just a little more composure, bring that one out. I know it's been working for her, the transition offense, but Knox had their players back that time. Plenty of pressure on the ball, forced a turnover. Frankston can't afford turnovers down the stretch in this game, especially with Sharisha Richards in foul trouble. They've got to make every post a winner now.
Especially when you look across the Raiders lineup, they've got scorers everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, it went under the screen this time, and you cannot do that with Abby Waring.
Yeah, that's just lack of attention to detail. Well, Tori Jackson been really good tonight defensively, but just missed out on that play. Got to fight over the screen. Got to get over on that one. Cannot get under. She will kill you.
That was Waring's 7th three-pointer of the night. She now has 29 points for the Raiders as the Blues call for time, and they've just edged ahead by 6 again. But we've seen this all game. They've edged ahead by 6, maybe nudged 10, and then the Blues have found a way to get back into the game.
Yeah, they need to make a stand, though. I mean, there's only so long you can have these moral victories. You've got to start getting wins on the board and start stringing them along. And whilst tonight, no matter what the result is, there will be a moral element to, oh, geez, they played well and they were able to hang with a championship contender, some might say, for a long period of the game. I mean, this was one of the issues we had last year. We were able to do this, and then we fell away. This team seems to be a little bit more equipped to hang deeper in games, though, with a high-quality point guard like Steph Reed. We saw in that last play a turnover in transition. She's had a really heavy workload, and her decision-making needs to be spot on down these last 5 minutes. So we'll see how they go, the Blues. He's hoping they can get back in. Well, they're not out of it, but he's hoping they can bring it back to a one-possession game shortly, and we have a great last few minutes.
Here we go, Blues.
So Waring, Ott, Scherf have contributed 77 of the 95 points the Raiders have put up tonight so far.
Not a bad effort.
And we seem destined to see triple figures brought up quite comfortably tonight, probably by both teams, as Lee fires from deep. And that's long. Now it's Whittle. Pulls it back out, and they'll regroup. Watman calling for the pick and roll. In this case, it's the pop. And she gets it to drop. Scherf is doing it all.
Yeah, she's really choosing how she wants to score off the back end of that pick and roll. Yeah, she can roll to the rim, and well, she can pop. It's such a great weapon to have.
Reed tries the step back response. And that hit the back of the rim. This time she rolls, but they're going to kick it to the corner. Whittle, why not? That's long. Scherf goes the reverse. Lauren Scherf
It's blown out quick. Well,
now has 28 points and the margin's out to 11.
they need to make a move now, Frankston Blues.
Well, they've got to score. I think you've said it most of the time tonight. They've got to find a way to stop them, slow them down. As Riley was blocked by Scherf.
That same we said earlier, that don't get any shorter as the game goes on. Scherf's really just stamped her dominance in the last minute here.
Well, Waring has 29. Scherf now has 26. Ott's got 25 for the Blues. Reed's got 30. Richards 23 and Lee 16. And that's going to be the end of Richards' night.
Yeah.
In the context of this game, that was a soft call.
Yeah, look, I'll probably leave that one alone. But
I
yeah.
said it.
Okay,
You
said,
I said it.
I'll agree then. Again, I like to see the big players. They're both wonderfully physical players down there, and you want to see they enjoy the contact, they enjoy the competition, the contest. So let them go.
So it's a very small-looking lineup for the Blues now. As they get it straight into Whittle inside, who shoots over the top of Reed.
Marina Whittle.
Reed kick out to Taylor this time. That's short. So the shooting is cooled off as Chernisov comes up with a steal. There you go. You said she's a great defender and she repays the favour. Riley from deep. Well, they close the margin back to 10.
Marina's had a really, really tough game, just mishandling the ball in the open floor there, and costly turnover for Knox Raiders.
There she is again.
Just too tall.
30 points, Lauren Scherf. 15 rebounds, 6 assists. I'd be telling her, put her in the post, get her to pass it out. See if she can get that triple-double. Just two minutes to play as Lee's short, and it's all coming apart now for the Blues.
Yeah, they don't have any answers at the offensive end now either. Steph Reed looks a little tired. She had 30 at the three-quarter time. She's still stuck on 30 right now. Oh, Chernisov doing her Elias over again. Another offensive. Draws another one. She's fantastic at it.
Putting her body on the line, of course. They are trailing 92-104 inside the final 2 minutes.
I don't want to let the weak side block shot from Taylor Lee go unmentioned there either. That's a nice little show of athleticism.
The step back triple by Reed's blocked. And Waring quite wisely just slows things down, and a little hand check in there. She's going to go to the line to shoot 2, looking to bring up her 30.
Yeah, again, that pick and roll's been an issue for Frankston all night, trying to guard that. I did talk Abby up in about our defence. It's been a little bit disappointing in the pick and roll defence tonight, and again on that one, just staying with Scherf, which is, I guess, not a horrible tactic because she has been quite dominant, but when Waring's coming off that, you've got to be able to get a hand up on that one. Help out the on-ball defender.
Oh, well, Waring missed both. Scherf then misses. Whittle can't hit, and the Blues have just battled hard and come away with it somehow. Well, we're going to have to do something pretty quick here if they're going to have any chance. Well, Reed can't hit on the reverse. And Whittle's going to take some air out of the ball. So the Raiders have been made to work all night.
They'll be happy with his hit out. You know, it's I say that from a Raiders perspective. You know, they want to build a contending team right here. They've got a lot of talent, and Frankston have shown them that you got to play both ends of the floor. They'll come away from this with a couple of things that they'll say, we've got a bit of improvement to do, which is great. You know, you don't want to be blowout teams through sheer talent. You actually constantly have to learn and see what's a weakness and find ways to improve. And they're building a nice ball club here, though, the Knox Raiders, and I think they'll be up around there at the end of the season.
Yeah, the way they're playing at the moment, they're going to be thereabouts, that's for sure. And look, for the Blues as well, as you said, there is probably a moral victory there. And I was there at the Nunawading game as well, and you could argue that was a moral victory because they made Nunawading work exceptionally hard, much like this contest tonight. And they just hung around, and then they went down by, I think it was about 18 points in the end. But that did not reflect the contest that actually occurred on the court. And it feels like that same way tonight.
Yeah, I think we've probably seen that a few times from the Frankston Blues. But look, yes, we've talked about, they've been able to hang around. But I think there's some real issues here defensively with this team. And as I said, they're giving up 90 points a game. They're giving up 106 tonight. And whilst you want to be hanging around with teams, you don't want to be giving up buckets. And they are giving them up in piles right now. So there's a lot there to work on for the Blues.
So coming up for Knox next week, they've got a double header. They're going to be hosting the Diamond Valley Eagles on Saturday night for a 6 p.m. game. Then they're going to be going down the road to MSAC to take on the Tigers, who, of course, have just recently added Jenna O'Hay to their lineup. Not a bad addition.
Yeah, not a bad addition mid-season. Yeah, that's a great pick-up there for Melbourne Tigers. And Jenna's just warmed into the league as well, hasn't she?
She certainly has, whereas the Blues They're going to be back here on Saturday night. Their 4th straight Saturday night game here when they host the Hobart Huskies. Of course, a new entity before they then go down the road to Ringwood and take on the Hawks.
Yeah, look, it's been a nice little home run for the Frankston Blues. Get 4 straight. They're going to have to battle hard on the road now.
They certainly are, and tonight, Steph Reed's not going to let her get away with anything, and they have a good little laugh down there. The Raiders, though, they run out big winners in a high-scoring contest, 108-95. Arguably, the final score probably doesn't do the contest justice, but the Blues just ran out of personnel and legs at the end, especially with Richards and Smith fouling out.
It would have been nice to see Sharisha Richards be able to finish the game and just to watch that battle. I mean, Lauren Scherf was just absolutely dominant in that last 5 minutes, either from behind the arc, around the rim. I don't know how many offensive boards she got in those last couple of minutes. It seemed like she got a few. And yeah, I mean, they had a nice little battle going on throughout the course of the game. I would have liked to have seen that continue. But yeah, we got it down as 11 offensive boards and 20 rebounds for the game. And I reckon a good portion of those offensive boards came in that last quarter too.
Well, for the Knox Raiders, 32 points, 13 of 24 shooting, 2 of 2 from downtown, 4 of 4 from the stripe. For Lauren Scherf, she had 20 rebounds, as Simon just said, 6 assists, 1 steal, an all-round performance, but gee, did she have some help or what? Abby Waring was on fire, 7 of 12 from long range. At one stage, she was 6 of 7 from downtown. She finished 11 of 18 from the field with 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, a block shot, and then you throw in Beck Ott, who was a hot starter for them. 25 points, 9 of 13, so super efficient shooting. 2 rebounds and 2 assists. They did get 6 points off the bench from Rachel Quirk and Marina Whittle. And they're getting that production without Whittle giving them 20 or 30 as well. It's a phenomenal effort by Knox. And for Frankston, well, Steph Reed back after a week rehabbing her ankle from last week. 30 points. She did have that up until 3/4 time. 11 of 19 from the field, 2 of 5 from downtown, 1 rebound, 8 assists, 2 steals. And she had great support. Richards is now back at her best after 2 weeks with the team effectively now. 23 points, 11 of 14 shooting, and again, super efficient, 7 rebounds, 2 assists before she fouled out. And Taylor Lee, who was super aggressive as well, 19 points and 2 assists for them. And the youngster again, Erin Riley, just seems to be getting double-figure points every week. 11 points coming off the bench with 5 rebounds. So again, a highly entertaining game, Simon, and both these teams have got some positive to look ahead.
Oh, absolutely. I think we're seeing a legitimate contender in the Knox Raiders. I think they'll be a little bit disappointed with giving up the 95 points to Frankston. It's not one of the most potent offensive teams going around. Obviously, Steph Reed posed a really big problem for them, and although they solved that problem to a degree in that last quarter, at least from her scoring, she was still getting feet in the paint and kicking it out to the shooters. Now, unfortunately for Frankston, they were unable to make it at a good clip in that last quarter, but I would still say that she had positive influence offensively down that stretch. But what I really like from Steph Reed is, I mean, that's the sort of stuff that you want to see out of your point guards, and that's the stuff that she has to be able to show the coaches in the WNBL, that she can do that consistently at this level, and hopefully she gets the opportunity to do it at the next as well.
So, Simon, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll wrap this one up. Of course, the men are coming up shortly. It's been a highly entertaining game of women's NBL1 basketball tonight here at Frankston. And, of course, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, looking forward to big things coming up this season.
Yeah, no, we're actually off to China next week. We're going to be hitting the floor for the first time as the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, and we're all looking for that. We've got our pre-China training session start tomorrow, so we'll be hobbling our team together. No, look, it's a great opportunity. We were getting a handful of our contracted guys are going to be going there, but we're also bringing along some fringe players in the NBL and some guys that we'll be looking at development playing positions, and we're really looking forward to getting on the floor. And I know from a coaching standpoint, I've been out of the game since October, since round 1 of the NBL season, so I am absolutely dying to get back out there and coach a team. So
fantastic. We'll wrap this one up. Join us for the coverage of the men's game coming up in a little over 20 minutes' time.